Most chatbots just sit on a website and wait. But what if your chatbot could contact phone numbers for you, generate new leads, and start conversations? Today I'll be showing you how to create a chatbot on WhatsApp that you can use for lead generation. This was all created using Botpress, which is free to sign up and create your first bot today. To be able to connect your bot to WhatsApp, you'll need to have a verified Meta business account, which I'll link more details below in the description. Let's get started. Here's the bot that we're going to be creating today. I have a webhook attached to activate this trigger. Now going to WhatsApp on my phone, I'm going to activate this trigger and it's going to contact my phone number. It will have a message saying, "Hi Chloe, that my delivery address has been updated and to contact an email for any inquiries." Now I'm able to continue the conversation to this bot. So I'm going to just say hi and see what it says. Great, so that works. Now let's go build it. When you log into Botpress, you're going to be on a similar screen that I have right here. We're going to go to the top right, specifically to create a new bot. We're going to do the Botpress Studio. We're going to be introduced to the setup screen and we're just going to start from scratch. We can click out and we're going to have the studio right in front of us. From here, we're going to clean out everything by clicking and deleting both the autonomous nodes except our start and end. And I can make sure I name my bot by going into the bot settings. And I'm going to rename it to the WhatsApp lead generation bot. Now we're going to need to install some integrations for our bot. So we're going to go to the left and look for the installed integrations button. From here, you're going to see all the integrations you have installed. I'm going to find more on the hub and the Botpress hub is going to open up. From here, we're going to search for the integrations that we want to install, starting with WhatsApp. Here you can read more about the integration. I'm going to specifically press the install integration button and the page will get updated. Then we're going to go back into the Botpress hub and we're going to search for Webhook. We will be using this webhook to trigger our bot to start the message to the user. Here we're also going to install the integration. Now we're going to see this configuration screen and we're going to see the webhook URL right here. We're going to specifically copy that. Now here's the make website. You're going to log in, create a new scenario, and here we're going to specifically do a new HTTP request. We start by pasting the URL that we copied from Botpress. It's going to be no authentication. It's going to be a post method. And then when we scroll down, we're going to see body content type, and we're going to say application/JSON. For the body input method, we're going to use a JSON string. And here we're going to type in the input that we want to send over through our HTTP request. In our case, we want to pass in our phone number or the phone number we want to contact. We can click save and then we're just going to run it once. Now we can go back into the Botpress Studio. Inside the studio, we want to start by adding a trigger node. This will basically activate when we send the HTTP request from make. So to do this, we right click anywhere on the studio. We go under trigger and we look for the event webhook. We can move it over from our start. And we can click and drag from this trigger node's port to create a standard node. I'm going to call this proactive start. Inside of this, we will need a card from the WhatsApp integration. So I'm going to press the add card button and I'm going to scroll down into WhatsApp and look for the start conversation card. To fill in these fields inside the card, we're going to need to go to the Meta business dashboard. Now, in order to send a message to the user, Meta requires you to create a message template. Currently, we are on the Meta business dashboard. Specifically, we're going to go to the WhatsApp manager page, which you'll find on the left under all tools when you log into your business profile. Inside, you're going to look on the left and look for a tab that says message templates. And underneath that, we're going to go under manage template. I already have a template created, but if this is your first time, you're going to press the create template on the right. Looking inside the template I created called address update, we can look inside and see an example of what this template message will look like. Inside, when we edit the template, you're going to see different fields. This includes the body, which is the message that we want to send to the user with curly brackets inside and numbers. The reason we use curly brackets is to use variables within our messages. Currently with Botpress, we use positional variables, which is why we use numbers and not their names. So if we use a list of values to insert into our message, we're going to use the number position of it in the list to add it in. Then when we scroll down, we're going to see a variable sample field. Here we're going to put examples of what those variables will look like, including my name, the address, and the email that I want to insert. Once you create a message template and you're happy with how it looks like in the preview on the right, you're going to go down and click the button that says Submit for Review. Once we have the template approved by Meta, then we could start using that to message people. More details on message templates are on the Meta documentation, which I'll also link below in the description. Now that we have the message template ready, we can continue building our bot. In our Start Conversation card, we can start filling in the following fields. Starting with our user phone number, we're going to basically insert the body that we send through our webhook. To see what our webhook output looks like, we're going to go into our trigger card, specifically under Test, and we're going to click the button that says Show Last Received Events. We can see to check if it caught our last HTTP request. When we hover over our event identification, we can basically see what the payload and inside that the body and the phone number that we send through looks like. So back inside our Start Conversation card, we can basically access this phone number through the use of variables. To access variables inside our cards, we're going to have to use double curly brackets. And since the trigger is an event, we are going to type in event. Then within that, our payload and body and phone number. Now for the message template name, it's going to have to match the one we named in the Meta dashboard. In my case, it is address update. The other fields we'll have to fill out is the message template language, which has to match the one on Meta, and mine is English US. And if you have variables in your templates, you're going to also fill in the message template variable fields with the values. In my case, I have 3, so I'm going to put my name, an address, and an email. The last thing we want to do is store the output in a variable. So you're going to go under Store Output Value In, select the drop-down menu. Here we type in the variable that we want to store the output in, which is going to be WhatsApp output. Now this is great if we want to reach out to a user, but what happens if they reply back? We need to make sure our chatbot can handle the conversation from here. We will continue to build our bot out so that it's able to continue a conversation with the user. When the user continues the conversation, it actually doesn't continue from this node. It actually goes all the way back into our start node. So since it's going through a different path, it actually loses the context of the conversation it's in. So in order to save it, we need to actually assign the conversation ID from WhatsApp into our event conversation ID. To do this, we need to add a card after our start conversation, which is called execute code. Inside of this, we'll be assigning the WhatsApp output's conversation ID into our event conversation ID for the bot to understand the context it's in. Now we can go into our start node, which I'll move down below, and we can click and drag to create another standard node. I'll call it the user conversation. Inside of this, I'm just going to add a text card. And for demo purposes, I'm just going to reply back to the user with the conversation ID we saved. From here, you can continue the conversation with other messages and text to the user, or you can even use an autonomous node to handle all the different conversations back and forth. Now that we have our bot created, we need to connect our bot to WhatsApp. So we're going to go to the left into Installed Integrations, scroll down to WhatsApp, and you're going to go into the Configuration tab. Inside here, you're going to configure your account using either OAuth authentication or the manual configuration method. For more details on how to connect, we have a video on our YouTube channel that shows you both ways to connect to WhatsApp. Now, this is great if we can reach out to one contact, but what if we have a bunch of other contacts that we want to reach out to? We'll be continuing the tutorial to show you how you can use a table like I have right here of different contact information to contact on WhatsApp. Now we can basically change this trigger that we have to use the table of contacts we have instead. To start, we want to add a node right before our proactive start, so we can just basically disconnect it and move over the nodes. We can basically create another node by right-clicking anywhere on the studio and doing another standard node. This one I will call Get List of Users. We can then attach this into our trigger by clicking on the port next to it and clicking and dragging a line out to the other port connecting to that node. Inside of this node, we want to specifically add a card called Find Records. We're going to basically select the table. If you don't have it created, it's not going to be listed here. So we need to go over into our Tables tab on the left. We can create a new table by clicking the New Table button at the top, name our table. Then inside of the new table, we can create new columns like the name and their phone number. Then we can also add new records into our table. After you have your table, we can go back into our card, specifically the Find Records card, and we're going to select the table that we've created. The last thing we want to do is store the result from the Find Records card into a variable. So I'm going to go to Result Variable, click the drop-down menu, and type in the variable that I want to store it in. Now that we got the list of people we want to contact, we basically want to loop over this Start Conversation card over and over again for each person in that table. So to do this, we want to keep track of how many times we're looping this card. And we can do that by creating a variable that is our basically counter variable. So it's going to count the number of times we're going to loop. We can basically create new variables by going to our variable tab on the left and pressing the plus icon and typing in the name of the variable we want to create. And since it is a number, we are going to change its type into the number. We also need to get the name and the phone number that we have in our table and store that into variables. So we're also going to create another variable, one for the name and one for the phone number. We're also going to be assigning those specifically in the scope user. Then in our Start Conversation card, we want to use these variables in place of the phone number and the name. Again, if you want to access variables in the card, you have to use a double curly bracket. So I'm going to access the scope, which is the user scope, and access the user phone number and the username. Then we need to add an execute code card before and after this Start Conversation card. So we can again add cards, execute code, and execute code, and you can click and drag the cards around in your node. So before we can send a message, we basically have to assign each name and phone number into the variables we created from our table. So in our first execute card before the Start Conversation, we go into the code and we're going to assign those variables to our user variables. We're also going to be using our counter as an index since we got a list of users from our table. Then in our execute code card after, we're going to basically increase the counter by 1. So this loop will kind of go on for a while, which we really don't want. So we want to add in a condition to stop the loop. We're going to do this by adding another card called the expression card. We need to drag this to happen before our last execute code card. And inside we're going to add a label and it's just going to say reached end of list. We turn off generative AI for this. Then we add a condition inside of it and we want to check if the counter reaches the end of our table, which has 5 entries, by making it check if it's equal to 4 because indexing starts at 0. So if this condition is true, it's going to exit out of its port, which we can bring to the end. As well, we need to make this loop. So we're going to click the port at the end of our node, and we're going to drag a line all the way to our start and connect the other nodes as well to the start of the node. So now we can test our bot by triggering the HTTP request, and it's going to message us on WhatsApp. Since I had a table of 5 different users, it's going to contact me specifically since I just put the same number down around 5 times. And I'm going to get the address update message around 5 times for the 5 different Chloes. If you have any questions while creating your bot, feel free to leave a comment below. If you found this tutorial useful, please leave a like and subscribe. We have a bunch of other cool bot tutorials on the channel. As well, join our Discord. We have a huge community of bot builders over there who are happy to help in your bot building journey. Happy bot building!